Careful, mind the pedestrian on the bridge.
They're gaining on us.
Come on, put your foot down. It does go all the way to the floor.
Vroom, vroom, vroom. Come on. It's alright, it's alright. I think we can outrun them. Hello and welcome to another episode of GameHammer. We're changing up the format today, so I'm going to do intros today and talk about the formats that we're doing and the reasons why we record the way we do. I've had a few comments recently about how I should review all of these games on the original hardware, and that would be a wonderful way to do things. But the problem is that I used to have the ability to record things on the original hardware. However, after I moved house, I seem to have lost the thing. I used to have a little device that plugs into a Mac, which allowed me to get a screen capture of whatever I was processing. For example, a computer or a console, anything like that, or even a TV signal because I had an aerial. And I have the cap for it, so wherever this thing is, this little ITV device that I had, it's going to get damaged because I have the cap that goes over the USB connection. I don't know where it is. I moved house a few years ago and I haven't seen the damn thing since. So it's very annoying. I used to have a little system you could plug in and it would do an RGB connection, and that was quite useful at times. But the problem with that is that the quality that you get out of it is not very good because it's USB 2, I think, instead of 3. And maybe even 1. It's quite an old piece of equipment, so I used that for a little bit and it was alright, but it never really got the same level of quality as this device that I can't find. So we use emulators instead because the alternative is to record the screen while I'm playing a game. And I did this with the Mega Drive review of Zool, and it didn't look very good. And I tried it with the Game Gear as well. We've tried various ways, recording in the dark, just seeing the light off the screen and things like that. And yeah, you can see what's going on, but not very well. So I decided that for the moment, until I can find this thing or get a replacement for it, we're going to stick with using the emulated versions instead. And where they're different, because I do have the original hardware, I can check these things. Where they're different on the emulator, for example, something's not quite working properly, the sound isn't quite right. Although, given the fact that I'm actually deaf, I might not notice the sound too well. But I can hear things, so we'll see how we go. I will point that out as we go along in the emulation. But anyway, I'm waffling now, so let's cut this down and get straight into it. We're going to start with the Game Gear version, and I'm going to do as many formats as I can to give you a nice rounded look at all the different versions of this game. Okay, here we go. Sega Game Gear. Outrun. We want to play a game, of course. Magical Sound Shower. It's the one that we want because... of course we do. It's the best. And press the wrong button to start up. We're getting slower going when we start, but it's okay. It's a very smooth, very responsive port. Pulls to the left every time you go around the corners, so got to bear that in mind, but it is quite useful for getting around cars sometimes, so there is that. Like that, we just went round the car. It's smooth, it's fast, it's actually a really, really good port, and I used to play this for hours on the Game Gear. To the point where this music is actually etched into my brain. We'll see how far we can get. Ah! That's not good. Still love the music. It's a shame that compared to some of the other versions, all we're doing is basically going round corners. There's no proper up and down. I mean, you get the impression of it sometimes when you get a little bit more road than otherwise, but it's not a proper up and down. You still have an idea of what's coming on the screen when it happens. But nevertheless, as an 8-bit port goes, this is a really, really good... There, you see, it's gone up slightly, but you still see quite far ahead. But as 8-bit ports go, this is a really good presentation. And I can't fault it. It's running really well, it's in a very enjoyable game, and it's quite difficult at times too, so there's a challenge there. It's really well done. The Game Gear version is fantastic. It's the one that I used to play an awful lot as a kid because the other version that I had was awful. But let's leave it aside and have a look at what I believe may be the best home computer version. It's the Mega Drive version, and let's have a look at how good it is. That music, and much, much higher quality graphical quality than on the Game Gear, but still I can see from here some few visual tricks and little memory saving devices going on, but nevertheless this is a rather good looking port of the arcade, so let's see how it plays. That's what we want. Voice added, sounds, everything, it's great. It drives rather well. The controls aren't, funnily enough, it's not quite as responsive as the Game Gear version. The car feels heavier. Perhaps that's the point. We'll see how we go. Oops. The car doesn't pull to the side as much either when you're playing, so there's that. And there are different vehicles. They're still doing the old pump up the... Whoa, we actually heard a vehicle there. It's still doing the little sprite pump up thing with different sprites and different sizes, but that's to be expected to keep the game going. Interestingly enough as well, there's pseudo 3D going on too. So that's interesting. We're not going anywhere near as fast as the Game Gear version according to the speedometer, but never mind. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we're going. And there are 5 zones on this one for this game according to that map at the top, which is a nice addition too. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of variation now, and it really feels like you're going up and down, which is great. Whoa, this zone was shorter, wasn't it? Did I just... Oh. Well, that wasn't very good, was it? Let's try that again, see how we go. My goodness, I suck at this.
Get ready?
Yes, let's get ready. Speed. Brum brum. Here we go. Am I supposed to switch up to high gear? It's not automatic, is it? There we go. We're in high gear. I forgot that this isn't automatic transition. We actually have to put it into high gear. That's why we weren't going as fast as the Game Gear version. Okay, well, at least we know what happens when we fail. That's quite useful. Apparently all the vehicles have the same noise when you pass them. Whoa! I shouldn't whistle, I have no tune in my head. My goodness. You really feel it, don't you? It makes you feel it. Oh, when it turns the corner there and goes up and down. Oh my goodness. We're doing okay. Kind of. Whoa! We are not doing okay! Oh my goodness! I can't even see where we're going when we're up that high. Oh, I don't think we're gonna get very far on this one. Something tells me that I suck at this game. Our good fortune on the Game Gear version has not translated to the Mega Drive. Oh my goodness, you can get sick for in this game. But look at the graphical quality. It's not top notch, and you can still see that basically these things are floating sometimes, all the little enemies that go past. But you can't fault it, this is fast, it's really smoothly playing. We can see sometimes, yeah, it's basically shrinking and expanding the sprites to do it, but it works. It all works very nicely, and it's a really enjoyable game. This is well made stuff. This is good. I'm enjoying it. I don't know whether I prefer the Mega Drive or the Game Gear. I think the Game Gear has it from nostalgia value, but this Mega Drive one, even though I'm not very good at it, obviously, it's still good. It's still an enjoyable game. Okay, now we've seen the 16-bit edition, and it's fantastic. I think you'll all agree that's a very good version. Let's have a look at how the 8-bits managed to handle things. We'll start with the Commodore. This is the Commodore 64 version. We're on the 8-bits again, going all the way back to 1987. My goodness, 29 years ago now. This game is old enough to vote. Nice little intro there. It looks more like you're driving a VW Beetle than a Ferrari, but oh well. Let's just hope it's okay. Oh, hang on. Oh, let's hope that the joystick's set up, because I can't remember whether it is or not. Here we go. Right, we're on joystick. This is incredibly slow, and we even move. Oh, we have to push forward, not press space. Okay, right, that's okay. Now that I know what we're doing, we'll give it a try. Yeah, this is not good, is it? This is slow, incredibly slow. Oh, sorry. Right, okay. Let's save judgment on speed until I actually worked out how I play this. Oh my goodness, this is not good. We have two gears, high and low. Okay, that's no problem at all. Oh. The sound quality is not bad, but the collision detection is. That's... Oh. I feel like I can drive through the side of some of these things and it doesn't seem to realise that I'm driving through them. Collision detection is not great. Okay, we have to push forward just to move. But that I can deal with, because I can still move left and right. The car moves reasonably smoothly when you're going left and right. We'll give it another try, because I wasn't really able to do it all that well there. But... oh, for goodness sake. I have to keep pushing left and right just to move this damn thing. To pick my name. Yeah, there's no auto-scroll if you just hold to one side. That's not good. And you have to pick his... So... they've really messed this up, man. Let's just keep going for the first top one. See how it goes. There are only two musical options. And if you want the second one, you've got to hold left or right just to get it. This is not the best presentation ever, let's put it that way. The car looks squashed. The yellow and orangey red do not go well together. There's not a proper crash for when you hit the other cars. This is a poor port. Compared to what we saw the Game Gear do, I mean, the Game Gear is a small handheld 8-bit system. It shouldn't be getting better, more polished versions of this game than the home computer versions. But it does, because this is not good. Come on. We'll play through it. I mean, look at the way the scrolling is put in. For the sense of speed, the whole of the ground is road. And we're just on lines on the road. It's ridiculous. The Commodore can do better than this. We've seen the Commodore do better than this. This is not good. Oh my goodness. This is so bad. It's not nice to play. It's really not. Now the Commodore version is actually quite impressive. I wasn't overly fond of it when I first gave it a try, but coming back to it, it's actually not too bad. But let's have a look at ones that really are quite bad. Let's start with the Spectrum so that we get an ease into things. Right, here we are in the Spectrum version loading in now. Let's hope this works. Fingers crossed. Here we are. Okay, that's controls, yeah. We want keyboard. Yeah, let's do this. My goodness, it's loud. There we are. Yes, we are running this on an emulator because, as I've explained before, the software for recording direct from the machines, well, the software works, the hardware doesn't. We've lost it. That's what happens when you move house, I suppose. Right, let's hope for the best with this. Okay, this is pretty good so far. It looks alright. I mean, it's a Spectrum. It's not going to be the flashiest graphics ever, but it's reasonable controls. We're moving around alright. Can we shift up? How do you shift up? That's not that. I don't know how we shift up. Okay, let's just try and race as well as we can. The music's actually pretty good compared to something like the Game Gear version. I think this works out rather nicely. I mean, yeah, sure, the Mega Drive had the best, but this is not a bad rendition of the tune. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. So, yeah, it's reasonably smooth to play. It's going quite well. Oops. Yeah. The animation for spinning out is not the best ever, and it does slow you down, but I suppose that's a risk that you have to take when you're driving in a racing game, isn't it? There's no real sense of speed, though. That's the problem here. I mean, apparently I'm going at 192 kilometers an hour, but I don't really feel it. Traffic's not really coming toward me very quickly, and neither's anything on the sides of the road. So, there's no real sense of speed here. There was on some of the other ones, but there's not here. It's just... it's missing something. There's something missing from the feel of the game. It's... oh... what can you say, eh? When you turn a corner at speed, that feels like you're going fast, but this... and my god, I just drove through that truck, surely. The collision detection's not very good either. It doesn't seem quite right. I'm supposed to be driving this really fast car, but I have no sense of speed because VW Beetles and trucks that should be speed limited, are crawling past me. There's no sense of speed. That's what I'm trying to get. There's no sense that you're racing. You're just driving. You're going for a country drive. Also, I don't know how to speed up. Okay, what did I do? Was that it? Have I just... what? Did I just lose? Oh, for goodness sake. Alright, the Spectrum version, you can probably see, isn't the greatest thing ever made, but I can tell you now, compared to what you're about to see, it is a Shakespearean experience. Let's look at the Amstrad CPC Farce. I realise this is not the best one ever, and it has a bad reputation for a reason, but my goodness, the amount of time it takes to just bring in the tune at the start, this is ridiculous. Right, controls, joystick, yes. Let's start. Is it going to work? This is awful. Who thought this was ready to release? They can't have thought it was... alright, at least the joystick seems to be working now. Oh my goodness. Okay, right. Controls left and right, fairly smooth. No sound whatsoever. The sound, as I recall, actually came on a separate tape. You were expected to play it in your hi-fi. There is no sense of speed here whatsoever. Once again, I don't seem to be able to change gears. So I'm limited to... Oh, there. What happened there? I just changed gears and I don't know how, because I've pressed all of the buttons on the joystick several times just to make that happen. I don't know. Cars change lanes to hit you? What? This is ridiculous. Am I now... Yeah. Oh my goodness. And also, we've got the Commodore problem again, where the road is just drawn onto the grass. This is awful. Who thought this was ready to release? My goodness. Yeah, the Beatles changed lanes. Well, at least you can see them on this version compared to the Spectrum, but this is essentially the Spectrum version with colours graphics. It's awful. There's no sense of speed. Even when you're going really fast, you're not going fast because the cars don't go past you any quicker. I have no idea what these things at the side of the road are because you can't see them properly. Oh, it's a building. My goodness. I love the CPC, but this is awful. I'm sorry. This is really awful. It has so much potential. I mean, look at it. A few more weeks, even a few more days of coding and refining could have made this worth playing. But as it is, this is just awful. It's just... I don't even feel like I'm on the ground. You know those old LCD games where you could... or even the kid games where it's just a steering wheel that changes the position of a car that's floating above a roadway? That's what this feels like. The car is not on the ground. Look at this. The car is not moving compared to the road. It's ridiculous. So, I don't even feel like I'm actually driving. And look at it. Oh. The scenery in the background doesn't move compared to what's going on. Unless you're turning a corner and then it rotates it a bit. Oh. This is not Outrun. This is nothing like Outrun. This is just crap. This is something that you would expect to buy for 20 pence to copy a disc from a PD library, and then no game over screen, you just get a high score. There's no sense that you've driven anywhere. It's awful. It really is just the worst. Oh my goodness. And there's no finesse to this. It takes it a while of switching back and forward just to get your name onto the high score. And then, oh, my goodness, I feel, if I had bought this, I would feel ripped off, which I actually did when I bought it in a collection of games. I felt that this collection of 10 games I bought in a packet basically had 9 games in it. That's how I felt at the time. It was awful, and I was so immensely disappointed. So, yeah, the sooner we move away from this, the better. Let's move on. Okay. That was an awful one. I think we can all agree. Even me, as a CPC lover, I love that computer. I think it's one of the best computers that was ever made. But I think we can all agree that Outrun is not showing it off at its best. So let's look at another version for our final look and have a check out on one thing that I didn't expect to be any good. Let's look at the PC version from the DOS era. Okay, I've not seen this one before, so let's see how this goes. I'm intrigued. It's the DOS version. I'm going to try it on joystick. Let's hope it works. Okay, there's no joystick. Yeah, we want Splash Wave. Okay, what? This is a bit slow and awful, but we'll see how we go. Okay, it's cursor keys to control it, but oh my goodness, there's a proper sense of the game here. And they managed to get a decent beeper tune. I mean, it's a beeper tune, but it's alright. There's a sense of speed here, and I'm quite happy with it. Oh my goodness. I can't switch... No, I can switch down. That's good. You sometimes need to do that on the corners. Oh my goodness. And the cars actually react properly. Oh my goodness, this is a decent port. I'm surprised. At a time when PC gaming was a bit awful, this isn't bad. Oh, that's a good animation. After the Amstrad farce, this is surprisingly good. I'm happy now. Oh my goodness. Oh, the level's not very long though, is it? My goodness. Come on, let's move stages. They're moving to hit me again. These things are cruel. 7 seconds, come on. And the seconds are actually counting down at a proper speed. Oh, this is difficult already. I'm liking this. This is a good version. It actually feels like Outrun. Yeah, this is enjoyable. I'm liking the quality of this. Does it compare to the Mega Drive? Well, no, not really. The Mega Drive's still the best version we've seen, but this is coming right up there, which I'm surprised with, given the state of DOS games at the time. Oh, yeah. This is good. This is really, really good fun. Okay, let's see how far we can get. We probably won't be able to complete the game, but we can give it a good try. And if you notice, the background is actually moving properly. It's not just an awful scroll. It's reacting to what you're doing on screen. So when you go up and down, it changes as well, which is much better than what we saw in the 8-bits, where it was there. Nice map down in the corner. We've had that on several versions now, so it's good to see that it's actually tracking us. The music's starting to get on my nerves though. And if I could take my hands off the keyboard to deal with it, I would probably turn it down, but that would take your time away from the game, and we don't have much time. Come on! Come on! Where's all the traffic gone? Not that I'm complaining because I'm not crashing into it, but it would be interesting to see where the traffic's gone. Come on. High gear, let's move. Here we go. It really likes to put a lot of traffic on for you, doesn't it? My goodness. It's difficult to stay on the track, to be honest. Probably if I took my finger off the accelerator, that would help. Oh. No, actually taking your finger off the accelerator doesn't help at all. This car isn't nearly uncontrollable. But although, thankfully, it does feel like it's actually on the ground. Interesting. We don't get a progress chart on this one either. But we do get to see which way they went on the map for each high score. That's an interesting feature. Okay, that's a really good version, actually. I'm surprised. So, let's leave it there, because that was pretty good. Okay, that's really all we got time for today, so I hope you did like this, and I think you'll agree that we ended on quite a high there. An unexpected high, but a high nevertheless. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you did like this, and if you did, remember to click the like button, share it with your friends so that they can see a good old game too, and do subscribe for future videos, because there will be more in the future. But until next time, I've been Kirk-Robinson, you've been watching the Game Hammer, and we'll see you next time.